Good morning, and you're very welcome to my Monday messages. And for those of you who are watching live, joining me live, then you're more than welcome. Do pop in any comments or experiences or questions in the comments as we go along. And if you're watching a replay, then please do the same, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm Rebecca, I'm a homeopath, I'm a QTT practitioner, and I'm a holistic life coach and mentor. So I just pop in here on a Monday to share any thoughts or simple practices to stimulate us all to make better decisions about our own lives, whatever they may be. So welcome, and I hope that wherever you are enjoying the same beautiful sunshine that we're enjoying here in Ireland. Magnificent bank holiday Monday here in Ireland. I know that in the UK you had yours last weekend, but I hope you're still enjoying the sunshine. So today I wanted to talk about the importance of being able to ask really good questions, and particularly when it comes to making good informed choices and decisions for our healthcare. And the reason I'm doing that is that I'm working with two clients at the moment who come to mind in particular, who came to me a couple of months ago, originally having had a diagnosis, or both of them had diagnosis of really serious chronic health issues. And they came to me really shocked and fearful and anxious about the diagnosis itself. And so they needed support through that. And then they needed to be able to gather whatever information they needed in order to make really good, appropriate choices for themselves on their health journey going forward. And what they both realised was that they were not comfortable around doing that. So one of the first things we did once they had actually come out of that initial shock and fear, because when we're in shock and fear, we are not able to think clearly or to think long term. So the ability to really stand back and ask good questions about ourselves is actually very compromised. So the first thing we did, obviously, was actually enable them to come out of that initial shock and fear. And then once they could do that, they both realised their discomfort around asking questions, and particularly around asking questions with healthcare professionals. And when we drilled down with both of these clients, they were actually uncomfortable for very different reasons. But what it came down to was their beliefs and values around the situation that they were in and the people that they were dealing with, and the people that they had to ask the questions of. So I thought this would be useful to remind us all of how important it is to be able to ask questions when we need to, and to ask you to just ask yourself, are you always comfortable with asking questions? And it may be that sometimes you feel you are, and you can ask whatever questions you need when you're with family or friends or whatever. And then when you come to dealing with so-called health professionals or experts, that ability to question seems to go out of the window, and you may come away from various appointments regretting that you didn't ask more questions. So I'll give you these two examples, and maybe they may resonate with you, and you can then work out what you may or may not choose to do about it. So these two clients, the first client, we worked out her discomfort around asking questions was a set of beliefs and values that she had inherited from her parents and from her whole family of origin, around being quite afraid, actually, seemingly respectful to begin with, but afraid to question people in authority, people who are perceived to be professionals or experts, that her parents were very much of the opinion you do not question people like that. You are not good enough to question people like that. Who are you to question them? And this particular client, there was a part of her who knew that was stopping her from actually getting the information that she needed. And then there was this other part carrying these beliefs and values that she just didn't feel able to question. So that's what we worked on, and that's what we were able to recalibrate, if you like, so that now I'm happy to say she feels more than able, more than comfortable to ask those questions, because she knows that without asking questions, she's not going to get the information she needs to make the best decisions for her in her health journey. So some of those questions can be asked, online or whatever, but most of them come from actually dealing with the health professionals that she's dealing with. And she's also able to make better decisions about how to deal with those people, with any people, not only in her health journey, but actually in life in general. So that's a great success for her, and she is continuing that journey, being able to gather all the information she needs to make these good decisions. And the key point being that up until this point in her life where she got this diagnosis, she didn't feel that she had a compelling enough reason to question those beliefs and values. And of course, that compelling reason enabled her to change those values and beliefs, or certainly to reshuffle them. So the second client was actually more than able to ask questions and had been brought up to believe that people in authority, and particularly medical professionals, were not to be trusted, were not telling the full truth, were keeping things from her, and were people that needed to be fought. And so she was finding that all the appointments that she had in order to gather information, and she had some really good questions listed out, and she went on with these questions, but she was unable to ask them in a way that actually got the information that she needed. She was deeply confrontational. She was asking in a way that was coming from a place of ultimately fear, but actually masked by anger and resentment and a kind of you're not going to get the better of me type of attitude. And unsurprisingly, she was finding that everything was a battle, and that a lot of people were not really giving her the information she needed, because they were feeling attacked, and they were feeling that they had to defend themselves. So again, we worked on that, and she understood that that was very much her upbringing. Her family's upbringing was that health professionals in particular should be questioned thoroughly. They should be made to tell you the truth, and that they were hiding things, and that they were all out to hoodwink you in some way. And when she realised that that was not serving her very well, and she was able to recalibrate again those beliefs and those values, and also in her case release a lot of the really deep-seated anger that she felt, and fear in those situations. Now she's able to go forward and again be able to ask questions in a respectful and kind and compassionate way. And she's now finding, much to her surprise, that not only is she getting the answers she needs, but she's actually finding that the majority of health professionals that she's dealing with are in fact extremely helpful and willing to help her in her quest for information. So I just give you these examples to perhaps show that our discomfort around asking questions can come from very different feelings and very different drivers. And if they're not serving us in any capacity, then we can change them, we can reshuffle them, we can recalibrate things, and we can enable ourselves to ask those questions that we need answers to in order to make really good informed decisions. And that ability to ask questions may start with being able to ask difficult questions of ourselves. So perhaps doing a bit of journaling on, okay, if I feel unable to ask questions, or I'm asking questions in a very angry, confrontational way, is that getting me what I need? And if so, what can I do to change that? Where might I be carrying some perhaps out of date beliefs or values around these particular people that I'm having to ask questions of, or the way that I feel generally? And what can I do to change that so that actually different results come from it, and that I do actually get the information I need? Thanks for the thumbs up. I can't actually see who's watching, but you're very, very welcome, whoever you are. Just asking those questions of ourselves first and foremost, and being able to then change those beliefs and values so that we can actually make the best choices for ourselves going forward is a game changer, I think. So if you want to know more about how to do that successfully, maybe working with me in a coaching capacity, or having a QTT session, or perhaps using remedies, or all three, then have a look at my offers using the link with this video. And you can also book a free clarity call with me there, and you can ask as many questions as you like. Okay, have a beautiful bank holiday Monday if you're here in Ireland, and a lovely, lovely week if you're elsewhere. And thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.